Welcome to Soccer as We Like It. My name is Tim Ross, your host, and this week's edition is explosive. This week's edition is tantalizing due to the fact of the matter, we have some cracking games. We have some games that will blow your mind away. Right, let's get right into it. This week we're going to cover the European matches played in the Champions League and the Europa League. We're going to start with the Champions League. We had 2 days of Champions League. We had Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to go straight into the Tuesday game. If we start quickly with Sevilla at home to Juventus. Sevilla have won the Europa League for the last few years. They have been playing some good football, but this might just be a step too big for them because they're now in the big boys league. They've gone from Europa, Kings to Champions League, but they can still qualify on the last game. They lost at home, unfortunately, to Juventus, who are kings of Italy. They've won the Italian league Serie A for the last 4 years. So losing to Sevilla, losing to Juventus is not a bad thing, is it? Because we're talking about a team who have been in Champions League back to back with Buffon, Higuain. They got some class players, Evra. So it's not bad to lose to Juventus. So Sevilla lost at home 3-1. Then if we go to Group G, Leicester City, the English champions who are struggling in the EPL but are sailing and making their path through the Champions League. They were able to beat Bruges 2-1 at home, a winning goal scored by Mahrez. I mean, in the EPL they are struggling. They're losing home, they're losing away, but they're not having that consistency they had last season that we all knew them for. This season, I don't think that I'll be surprised if they even make the top 10 this season, but we'll see how that goes. It's only November, anything can change. Anything can happen in the game of football. But they won the game, they won the group, they beat Bruges 2-1. People say that group was not a tough group, but end of the day, it's who they put in front of you, you have to play with. So let's call that as it is. They won the group, they beat Bruges 2-1 at home, and they're in the last 16. Good job, congratulations to Leicester City representing the United Kingdom. Another great game. Group F, we had Real Madrid away to Sporting Lisbon. Ronaldo is returning home to where it all began. If you guys know Ronaldo's history, he started at Sporting Lisbon, then to Manchester United where he won everything available in Manchester United. League Cup, Champions League, EPL, FA Cup, Football of the Year, European Football of the Year, La Liga, Ballon d'Or, he won it all. Then he moved to Real Madrid. So going from Real Madrid now, he's playing against Sporting Lisbon and he's very modest. When he scored against them in the first leg, he was like, you know what, it's okay mate, thank you very much, I really appreciate it. He didn't go there, yes, in your face, like Danny Welbeck did when he scored for Arsenal against Manchester United. I think professionals should be professionals. Never forget where he came from. Let's move on from that. One of the highlights of the Tuesday matches is one game that will blow your mind away. In the history of Champions League football, no game has got 12 goals, and this is not penalty shootout. This is a regular 90-minute game. I'm talking about Borussia Dortmund and Legia Warsaw of Poland. Borussia Dortmund beat Bayern Munich last Saturday 1-0. So they're in the momentum, they're on the roll, they're feeling it now. They're trying to climb up the Bundesliga because they have Bayern Munich ahead of them and RB Leipzig. But back to Champions League, they defeated Legia Warsaw 8-4. Yes, 8-4, which means there were 12 goals in the game. In the first half, it was 5-2. Everyone thought Legia Warsaw dead and buried, but they came back strong. Scored 2 more goals. Borussia Dortmund scored 3 more goals, making it 8-4. It was an entertaining game. Going forward, it's like every time any team went forward, a goal was about to be scored. So it was a good entertainment, good value for money, but a little cricket score there. Another game, another British competitor. Tottenham Hotspurs were knocked out by losing a game at home, losing away to Monaco, who have eventually won that group. So Tottenham are going to now go into the Europa League, where they have been humiliated in the Champions League. This is where they said they wanted to be. They said they wanted to be the big boys, but being with the big boys is one thing. Hanging with the big boys is a different story. So Tottenham, get your house in order. Stop playing at Wembley, go back to White Hart Lane, get yourself together. Harry Kane scored the goal for them, making it 2-1, but it wasn't enough as Monaco outplayed them, outclassed them, outfought them, and they were out of the tournament completely. Because they've lost all the home games and all the away games. So there's actually no point in beating the competition. They've been humiliated and embarrassed. It's not their place. So they're going to go to Europa League and join other teams who are going to be filtered down from the Champions League. So we're going to take our first commercial break and we'll be joining you back after this. Stay tuned, soccer as we like it. Welcome back to the second part of this show called Soccer As We Like It. Thank you for staying with us. Now we're going to go right back into it. This is the part of the show I want to say, I told you in the beginning, there are going to be some shockers. For the last 10 years, Bayern Munich have always won the group. I've been telling you for weeks, they are struggling. In Bundesliga, they are struggling. They lost last week to Borussia Dortmund. They drew the week before to RB Leipzig, who are currently leading the Bundesliga. Is Carlos Ancelotti in trouble? I think he is. He needs to get the show together or he is going to be cut. Bayern Munich have very little tolerance, especially when they're trying to win the Champions League. For them not to win the group has not been heard of in 10 years. They lost at home. They lost away to a team called Rostov, which was 10 degrees in Moscow. They lost by 3 goals to 2. Throughout the game, Bayern Munich were constantly playing catch up and play. It was 1-0 equalizer, 2-1 equalizer. The third goal, a beautiful free kick. And from a guy called Noboa, he scored a beautiful free kick and there was no response from Bayern Munich. It was game over, 3-2, they lost. They haven't lost a game. They haven't not won the group in 10 years. So this is going to be a shock. They're going to go. The group has now been won by Atletico Madrid, who were able to dispatch PSV by 2 goals to nothing. A goal by Griezmann and Carema, and the game was over. Atletico Madrid 2 goals to nothing. They're the top of the leaders of the group, and Bayern Munich are going to go in as second. Yes, second in the group in the Champions League. Another scintillating game. I told you this week was full of goals, goals, goals. Betis at home to Benfica. Betis are second in the Turkish league. Benfica are first in the Portuguese league. Benfica are the away team. They were leading by 3 goals to nothing. When you're leading 3-0, you think it's just keep the ball, keep possession and see the game out. Was that the case? Not in this situation. Betis came back from 3-0 down and equalized the game to a 3-3 draw. The game finished 3-3. You had beautiful goals from Toussaint, Quaresma and Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr scored the equalizer at literally the last kick of the game. A beautiful cross from Quaresma, the Portuguese winger. A beautiful cross from him, and Abu Bakr was able to put the ball in the net. I don't know what happened to Benfica's defense. It's like it just capsized. Everything just a pack of cards. The whole defense just collapsed. To concede 3 goals, hey, but good job to Betis. They gave the fans a value for the money, and they were able to turn the table around and get a 1 point from the game. Group D. We're going to go to Group C. Borussia Mönchengladbach played at home to Manchester City, and this game was a 1-1 draw. I mean, Barcelona's already won the group. Barcelona were at the same time. Barcelona dispatched Celtic at Celtic Park by 2 goals to nothing. 2 goals by Lionel Messi. It wasn't going to be. All Celtic were trying to do was reduce the 7-0 they lost in the first game at Nou Camp. But they tried something, but it did not work out. They still lost. So in total game between Barcelona and Celtic, they conceded 9 goals and scored none. So that was dispatched. Barcelona won that group. Manchester City come second in the group, playing a 1-1 draw with Borussia Mönchengladbach. And it was a nice game. Borussia Mönchengladbach scored 1, and David Silva scored the equalizer for Manchester City. Manchester City were not going to win that game. It was a very tough game. They had beaten Borussia in the first game at the Etihad. So we're going to cover that and most of the games that were covered in. We're going to quickly switch over to the Europa League now. The Europa League is a very tough league. This is a league a competition where they don't care what you've achieved in the past. It's very tough. The games are so many. It's a mixture of so many European teams, so many teams you've never ever heard of. But some of the big names, when they go there, they get humiliated. Another team I'll tell you about that. Inter Milan. They were leading 2-0. Did they win? No, they lost by 3-2. That's sad, but this is the way European football is. They don't have any respect for anything you do in the Europa League. It's a very tough league, but you have to, it's a survival of the fittest in that league. It's some tough games. Fenerbahce beat Zorya 2-0, making them top of the group. Manchester United were able to beat Feyenoord by 4-0. People say that's the rebirth of Wayne Rooney. I don't think so. He scored one goal, made another goal, but the man of the match to me was Mata and Mkhitaryan. They were the ones who pulled that team together and got a 4-0 victory for the Manchester United faithful. In Group L, we have FC Zurich and Villarreal, another Spanish team doing very well in La Liga. They came the fourth in the La Liga. They drew 1-1 with FC Zurich. Osman Delispor, another team that lost at home to Steaua Bucharest, 2-1, and that was another cracking game. Sparta Praga lost at home. Sparta Praga were able to beat Southampton by 1-0. Southampton might still qualify, but did not do well. Sparta did play some very good football in that game. Southampton looked like they were still recovering from the 0-0 they drew with Liverpool over the weekend last Saturday. Hapoel Selvi were the team that beat Inter Milan. A last-minute goal scored by Selher were able to beat Inter Milan. Inter Milan were actually leading this team 2-0, but lost the game by 3-2. Do you know Inter Milan are actually last in the group, which means they're not going to qualify. They're not even going to make Europa League. They're done out. The performance they had against AC Milan on Sunday, if they had put in that performance today, we'd be singing a different tune. But they didn't put that performance, and Hapoel were able to win that goal, 3-2. So we're going to take our final break now. Soccer as we like it. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Soccer as we like it. This is our final segment of the show, but this show we're going to cover the remaining parts of the games that we didn't talk about earlier on. We go straight to the Emirates. Arsenal and PSG fighting for that final place in that group. Who's going to win the group? They both have the same points. If you recall, in the first leg in Paris, Arsenal drew 1-1 with PSG. Each team getting a player sent off, each team reduced to 10 men. In Emirates, it was going to be far worse. But PSG started. PSG controlled the game. They scored a beautiful goal by Cavani. Giroud equalized. Verratti scored an own goal. Just as PSG were pressing and pushing Arsenal back, Iwobi scored an own goal, making the game 2-2. But Cavani, the main striker of PSG, should have got 4 goals. He missed a hatful of goals. That is the reason why he was never trusted to be the main man at PSG. Okay, they are missing Di Maria, but he has some chances to destroy Arsenal. He missed them all. Out of the 5 clear chances he had, he scored 1 out of 5. That was the reason why they trusted Zlatan Ibrahimovic than Cavani. Cavani he's that kind of player. He gives you the impression he can do it, but he can't do it. He had the chance to beat Arsenal at the Emirates and take his PSG to the top of the table. He fumbled. He lost 3 beautiful, clear-cut chances. If you guys don't believe me, watch it on YouTube, and it was embarrassing. In fact, for Cavani, I think he needs to bury his head in shame because he embarrassed himself and his country and his team, because PSG should have won that game easily. Another quick game, one quick goal review was the Ludogorets FC Basel. That was a 0-0 draw. All PSG need to do is beat Basel, beat Ludogorets 7-0. They'll win. I don't see Arsenal beating FC Basel away because Basel very strong at home. So I think PSG might win this group. Even though Arsenal and PSG are both on 11 points, I just think PSG just had enough to go through into to win that group completely. FC Schalke in the Europa League beat Nice 2-0. Nice have come last in the Europa League table, this group, in Group I think they're not going to make it. I think they're going to just concentrate on Liga 1. Another game was Ajax beating Panathinaikos of Greece 2-0. A beautiful last goal by Kenny Tete, making it 2 goals to Ajax, and Panathinaikos no goals. So those were the results for the Europa games and Champions League games for this week. We've only got one more game left in the Champions League group stage and one more group game left in the Europa League. And after that, it's going to go into the final 16 in Europa League and final 32 in Europa League. We wish everyone success and everything. We have a list of teams who have qualified as group winners. I'm going to give that to you quickly. In the group winners, we have Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Leicester and Monaco who won the groups outright, so they're automatically gone through. Other teams who have qualified are Arsenal, PSG, Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Other teams who could qualify on day 6, that's the final game. Other teams who could still make it are Benfica, Lyon, Napoli, Porto and Sevilla, who can still qualify on the last day in game 6. Some soccer news bringing to you. Klinsmann, the manager of the United States national team, was fired this week. After leading them for 4 years, he took them to the 2014 World Cup. He took them out of the group of death, which had Portugal, Germany and Ghana, and they qualified to the next stage. They have now fired him for some bad results. He got against Mexico. He lost at home 2-1. He lost humiliatingly. He was humiliated, decapitated, decimated 4-0 away to Costa Rica. It wasn't the result, it was the manner. They just laid down and got destroyed and decimated. Many people didn't like the fact that Klinsmann got the job after Bob Bradley, because Bob Bradley was everyone's favorite, everyone's uncle, he was like a grandpa to everyone. But Klinsmann came in, took him out, because Klinsman's been competing for that post, publicizing it that he needs that job, and he's got the job now. I think he did well. But one thing people didn't like was he told MLS players, I will not select you because you are playing for a non-competitive league. So he mostly chose the European-based players who unfortunately did not deliver. But let's take a big picture, a look at this big picture. USA doesn't have a lot of quality players in the first case anyway. So anyone's going to make it, it's going to be hard for them to even get class players. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's be realistic. It is what it is. They're like Scotland. That's what it is. Let's be honest. USA don't have a lot of quality players. Just like Scotland, they don't have a lot of quality players. So they will always struggle. It doesn't matter who the coach is. It doesn't matter. It's not simultaneous equation. It's not Pythagoras. It's simple knowledge. Poor players are in American leagues. Poor players are in Scotland. It's the truth. Let's quickly go over to Steven Gerrard, who retired this week. Unfortunately, he's retired. He's not won any Champions League. He's not won any championship medals. He didn't win any in the EPL in all his years he was there. He came to MLS. He played for LA Galaxy. They didn't win anything, so he's retired with no championship medals. He's won a Champions League medal for Liverpool. But he's had a glorious career. I wish you all the best, Steven Gerrard. But unfortunately, in your long career, there was no championship medal to say you won a championship. Good luck, Steven Gerrard. All the best. This is our show today. Soccer as we like it. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Subscribe to us, give us a thumbs up, and we're going to be there to answer all your emails on socceraswelikeit@gmail.com. Our next show is going to be this weekend for the weekend preview of all the leagues in Europe. So stay with us, Soccer as we like it. My name is Tim Russell. See you around.